Hello all, I'm back on another video on a guide of how to take care of your characters. It's been a while because I've been extremely busy, and I know that's not an excuse because I'm still new here to YouTube, but I'm trying to get back on my feet again. If you think about it, your characters are kind of like pets that you need to take care for. Disregarding them could end up in having shallow personalities and possibly the destruction of the story that you're trying to create. And since you've clicked this video, I'm guessing that you want to learn how to improve your characters or maybe learn a few things, or if there's other things that you might have not heard on this list, you could comment down below, or who knows, maybe I might make a second video. Also for this video, I'll be referring to my character Mallory from my novel in progress, I Am Mallory, which I'm hoping to be finished this year. So you just gave birth to your characters, that's great. Congratulations. I'm guessing you have the basics down, their gender, where they might live, like their hometown, ethnicity, their sexuality, their physical appearances. But this is simply a shell of your character. You need to dive a little deeper in order to have something that people can relate to, a character that people will eventually love or hate, something they can connect with. So something I try to remember is that your characters are people, and people have flaws. You can't create this perfect character with a perfect body and perfect personality. It just becomes a very boring book, and no one will be able to relate to the character because it's unrealistic. Creating flaws might seem bad towards your character because I know how much you love them and we all want our children to be perfect, but people won't be able to relate to the character. For my character Mallory, she's always trying to be kind and interact with other pianists that she's around in competitions. But what she doesn't know is that she's always having this conflict with Oliver, and she doesn't realize why, but everyone around her seems to know the reasons, but she doesn't. And what I want to have throughout the book is that as the reader, both Mallory and the reader are slowly being able to understand what's going on with that conflict and the flaws that she has. Since I'm doing it from first person, it's going to be from her view, but as we read, we're slowly going to realize that things aren't the way they seem. Also for goals, your characters need to have a goal, something that they want to achieve, and who knows, that goal might change from the beginning of the book to the end of the book, but either way, there needs to be something that your audience can cheer for, because if not, then I don't really see a point. There's supposed to be a struggle or a conflict, and if you don't create a goal, then you're also not going to reach the goal of finishing your novel, because that's also going to be impossible. For my character Mallory, her goal is to please her father by winning all these piano competitions, hoping to gain some love from him because he's a very abusive person, and she just doesn't see that. She sees him as this perfect father that she wants to please. The beginning of her goal is obviously trying to please her father and just pump as many competitions as possible and beating her greatest competitor Oliver that she's been tied with a few times. But as we get closer to the middle of the book, Mallory's going to start realizing that her father isn't perfect and that she just doesn't want to please him anymore. She wants to learn how to please herself and learn to be an individual, because she's been with him for so long. She lost her personality basically and has been acting the ways he would want her to act as this perfect kind of child. Your characters are also just like people, and people with time, they change. How they've been in the beginning of the book and how they might see things, especially if you're doing it in first person, might be completely different and the opposite of how it will be close to the end. You don't want them to have the same kind of perception throughout, or at least if you did have them have the same perception or a mindset, you want them to have struggles and maybe even questioning their beliefs or their goals. And some things you want to keep in mind are what events might have given them this kind of mindset, what kind of environment they've been living in, or even an awakening that makes them realize that this person they once were is something that they no longer want to be, and completely. For Mallory, she's a young woman in her 20s that has always had a problem with her memory, especially her childhood. My character Mallory's way that she changes kind of also intermingles with her goals, with her wanting to gain her father's love and trying to beat Oliver as a competitor, but she slowly learns to become an individual and learn that it's all right to have these flaws and that she doesn't need to be perfect with everything she does, and that she actually needs to take care of her mental health as well, as her teacher always asks her to do. And of course, she eventually learns independence, and that the things that the father's been doing with his drinking or abuse is not her fault, and that that's all him to blame and not her. A thing that my writer friends like to do sometimes is taking a character or two and putting them into a setting. It could be something stressful, or maybe it's just a certain kind of conflict that's going on, or maybe a different kind of environment, and see how your character plays out within that environment, and it might help you learn more about that character and how their mindset is, or how they might speak with other people or other characters that you have. You want your characters to be as real as possible and not seem like characters, like a living, breathing thing that people will actually care or hate for in the end. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you want me to make a part 2, please comment down below, or other ideas that you might have on further character developments. Just remember to not let your characters run loose, and that if you pay attention to a few of these pointers, then you'll be able to have a more in-depth character rather than just a shallow character. I do admit it's a bit weird to be looking into a camera again. I've been so busy writing and with my schooling starting again that it's strange to be talking to a camera, but it's okay. Also, let me know if you have any writing goals for this year or what you want to achieve. It doesn't have to be writing, maybe it could be reading or other things you're trying to grab. I just started the gym again. I'm doing weight training, so that's been helping me a lot since I'm always cooped up in my room. But I'd like to hear what's going on with your new year, and I just hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some knowledge out of it. Okay, bye!